this video, you will learn 5 powerful hacks that will help you increase your willpower and motivation to an extremely high level in the long run. Especially, the 5th hack is enormously important for everything to actually work. Therefore, let's not waste any more time, but start right away. We all know that biological factors like sleep have an impact on our willpower. Many of us have previously assumed that these factors are mainly responsible for our willpower, but recent findings suggest that these biological factors may not play the dominant role we have attributed to them. Instead of being responsible for about 70% of our daily willpower, their contribution might be more like 30%. It seems that what goes on in our inner dialogue plays a far greater role in our willpower. The first factor to increase the willpower is the so-called chunking. A great example of this can be found in the experiences of one of the most successful people in the world. Imagine you are a success-hungry mountaineer who wants to conquer Mount Everest. This is undoubtedly a huge challenge that requires enormous willpower. The method of chunking helps you to conquer this mountain step by step. Instead of focusing on the entire climb, you break it down into smaller stages, like reaching a specific camp spot. Your brain will be stimulated to release extra willpower as it realizes that these smaller goals are doable. Why does it work? Because our brain is designed to use willpower efficiently to conserve energy. Although we basically have an unlimited amount of willpower, we often reach a point where our brain says, "That's enough for today." Especially before big tasks, it tends to say, "This is too much, we don't have enough willpower." By applying chunking and setting small goals, your brain says, "Hey, we can do this. Here's some extra willpower." So it's smart to incorporate low-threshold goals into your daily routine to tap into that extra willpower. So how can you implement this into your everyday life? Instead of resolving to do all the housework right away, set a goal to tackle just one room at a time. This will not only increase your willpower and motivation, but also boost your confidence. This example shows how chunking can be used in your life to strengthen your willpower and achieve your goals step by step. And now for the second factor, self-confidence. A psychological aspect that has a significant influence on our willpower. The more self-confidence you bring to a task, the less willpower it will require. Let's illustrate this with an example. Imagine you want to learn a new foreign language. If I were to ask random passersby on the street about their confidence in learning a new language, most would probably answer that they have little confidence in this area. But if we applied the art of chunking and reduced the goal to mastering a single, simple sentence in that language, most of us would more confidently say, "Yes, I can do that." Self-confidence often comes from small successes. If you pay attention to these small milestones, you will gradually become more confident about your ultimate goal. You start to believe that you can actually do it. This is a fantastic way to build self-confidence. You can take advantage of small successes by monitoring your progress, for example, by gradually formulating new sentences in the foreign language. This will greatly increase your self-confidence, and with time, it requires less and less willpower to work motivated on learning the language. The third way you can influence your willpower is to change your attitude towards willpower itself. It plays a crucial role in preventing the exhaustion of your ego. There are numerous factors that can burden our willpower, and they are quite real and serve their purpose. Interestingly, a study conducted by a professor in 2010 found that the way we view willpower has a significant impact on it. For example, if you believe that your willpower is limited, you will probably lose willpower faster than someone who believes that it is unlimited. So the question is, what can you do about it? Let's uncover the truth about willpower together. In fact, your willpower far exceeds the amount you consume during the day. However, our brain likes to set limits. But if you embark on the journey to learn more about willpower, you will gain valuable knowledge that will equip you with more control over your willpower. I firmly believe that by studying willpower, you will be able to use your unlimited willpower better than the average person. If you adopt this belief for yourself, you will have more willpower in the long run. The fourth way you can influence your willpower revolves around changing your identity. When your identity matches your goals and the habits you want to develop, less willpower is needed to stick to them. Now, you might be wondering how you can change your identity. It is certainly not an easy undertaking, but it can be done. The key lies in the way you shape your thoughts and your language. For example, let's say you want to exercise more regularly. Instead of thinking, "I can't go to the gym often enough," you should actively think, "I am someone who exercises regularly." The difference is subtle but significant. In the first case, you identify yourself as someone who has a hard time going to practice, while in the second case, you take on a new identity as an active person. With time, you will begin to believe in this new identity. This will help you strengthen your willpower and achieve your goals in terms of regular exercise. Another effective trick to keep in mind is to use positive language. Replace phrases like "I can't" or "I must" with "I will." The first three phrases are typical of the mindset of your old self that you want to change. However, by using the phrase I want, you are agreeing with your new identity and goals. This will facilitate the process of change and support your willpower. The fifth and final way you can influence your willpower with your mind involves what we call high-level thinking. It was researched by Professor Fujita in a 2006 study and found that people who spent more time operating at a higher level of thinking exhibited significantly stronger willpower throughout the day than those who remained at a lower level. But what exactly does this high-level thinking mean? Unlike low-level thinking, where you focus on short-term and specific things, high-level thinking deals with more general and long-term ideas. Imagine there is a group of people who do meditation exercises on a regular basis. These people consciously sit down to think about their goals, dreams, and long-term plans. They visualize how they will achieve their goals and how these achievements will positively impact their lives. In contrast, there is another group of people who rarely take time for such reflections. They are caught up in everyday life, think mainly about short-term tasks, and feel that their goals are out of reach. Now, if we compare these two groups, we find that those who meditate regularly and practice high-level thinking often have stronger willpower and motivation. They have a clear purpose in mind and are determined to achieve their goals. This simple observation shows how practicing high-level thinking can actually have a positive impact on willpower. It is living proof that consciously thinking about long-term goals and one's purpose in life can make a big difference in building the inner strength needed to overcome challenges and pursue our goals. A great exercise I recommend is to take the most important habit you want to build in your life and fill a whole page with why you want to keep that habit. This will help you connect with your long-term goals and strengthen your willpower as you work on your personal development. In summary, if you really want to increase your willpower and take your motivation to a new level, remember that there are 5 powerful ways you can transform your mindset. The first step is chunking. Imagine breaking down your big goals into small, doable tasks. That way, the mountain of commitments becomes less daunting and easier to manage. Number 2 on our list is to boost your self-confidence. You need to believe yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. This self-confidence is the fuel for your willpower. Third, rethink your attitude towards willpower. It is not a limited resource, but something you can strengthen and train like a muscle. Through knowledge and practice, you can get more willpower out of it than you ever thought possible. The fourth way requires an identity change. If you want to change your habits, you have to see yourself as the person who has already made these changes. You are not unathletic. You are an athlete who lives consciously and healthily. And finally, the fifth factor, think on a higher level. Don't just focus on short-term and specific goals, but ask yourself why you are making these changes and how they will enrich your life in the long run. Yes, biological factors play a role, and sleep is important. But research shows us that psychological factors, the way we think about willpower and how we shape our identity, play an even bigger role. Never forget that you have more willpower than you think. So go ahead, put these tips into action, and watch your life change for the better. If you enjoyed these tips, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for more inspiring content. Your willpower will thank you.